guys, welcome once again to another open panel chat on Love and Marriage Huntsville. And today we're going to be talking about the reunion, the part one. Um, I just wanted to ask every one of us here now, how did you feel about the part one of the reunion? Because I kind of enjoyed it. Well, I felt like there were some questions that I needed for them to have asked, but were not asked. And there were some questions that were asked, and they didn't give us a very lengthy answer in the reunion. How did you guys feel about the reunion as a whole?
For me as a whole, it was kind of okay. A lot of it, it kind of made me think about what Shop Reality was said about. She thinks that some of them are acting, and I'm like, am I looking at actors or like, is this like the real reality? You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I felt like LaTisha, it seemed like she was doing a lot of acting. And then it seemed like Stormi was doing some acting too. So I was just like, okay, yeah, is this really a reunion or, is this a casting call? you know? So I don't know. I have mixed feelings about it.
Well, I enjoyed it. I did, surprisingly, except for the part with Maurice and Kimmi. I just wish that they just would just stop talking about them. But as far as the acting part, I think initially, well, in the past, I thought that Stormi and Tisha's beef was fake. But now it seems like it is real. So maybe, and this is just all me speculating. Maybe it started off with just, a little bit of fodder back and forth. And now it does seem to be really real. As far as acting goes, it seems like everybody was on the up and up, it seemed, until that scene with Marsau sitting with the ladies and they were going back and forth with him. They
Mhm.
seemed like it was like tense. And then all of a sudden, once the scene was over, they're all, oh, you did a good job. I don't know if you guys noticed that. They were like, oh, good
Yeah.
job, Marsau. It's like, oh, what happened to the tension? And now you guys are applauding him. But anyway, Marsau said, not Marsau, well, Marsau did say that they were actors. He said that before in a live when he was at his construction site. And now Martel is saying that they are actors.
Mhm.
So, yeah, but that Stormi and Tisha thing, yeah, that does seem like that's pretty tense right now. But I'm sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. Let's talk about the things that happened. The first thing that happened was Stormy versus LaTisha. How this I still didn't believe that this fight was real until I started seeing the disgust in I said Tiffany, in Stormy's eyes when she looked at LaTisha. And like I said the last time we talked about it, when we were talking about the preview of this reunion, I did say that I didn't like the way that Tisha was literally going. Um, I know she's trying to stand on business. I know she's trying to stand for herself. I don't see anything wrong with Tisha standing for herself because I've always been saying it ever since Stormy called her husband the B word and she stood there and was laughing. I have always been like, Tisha, please just stand up for yourself. So I was happy that she was standing up for herself, but this standing up for yourself is like, and is it too late or it wasn't necessary? Or like Stormy said, it was rehearsed in the car before she came up there to like say what she had to say. Because the question, now this thing stemmed up from the question that um Carlos did ask um Stormy that does she see Marsau and LaTisha being the power couple that Stormy and her husband is when it comes to being black and also being in business? And I don't think LaTisha ever allowed Stormi to answer that question because she just went deep and was like, started throwing, jabs at LaTisha and, started throwing jabs at Stormi. And like, oh, the streets are talking. I'm like, wow. Like that doesn't make sense to me because if I remember when people talk to Tisha and being like the streets are talking, she's like, yeah, they can talk, but doesn't mean that what they say is true. And now you're saying that it's only when it pertains to you that you understand that the streets are talking and it's not reality as far as we were not caught red-handed. But when it comes to another person, whatever the streets are saying is the truth because her coming down on Stormi being like the streets are talking that you are owing money, at least she was able to recognize that Stormi made money out of from TikTok. At least she was able to recognize that. As much as I said I love the way that she was standing up for herself, I still felt like most of the things she was saying was being childish, unnecessary, and that was not the right approach because you are not doing any better. Because if Stormi and you should stand as business people, Stormi has more integrity than you and your husband's business. So her coming down on her and be like, go and pay all your debts. Are you not also owing debt? Are you not also owing debt? Don't call out somebody else's debt when you are also in the same boat as the person. So that's why I felt like she was being childish in what she was saying and the things she was saying. And I applaud her for standing for herself, but the way she did it, I didn't like it. But that's just my own opinion.
Well, in my own opinion, I feel like Tisha, she was really, I think her frustration and her anger is basically pointed the wrong way. So, okay, so what? You guys don't get along. You tried to mesh, it didn't work. You know, I didn't understand where all the frustration was coming from between her and at this wife dates. It didn't work out. You know what I'm saying? They went on the little trip. You know, they had everybody had the fun that they could have. You know, cut scene. So what happened between then and the reunion for it to be so much chaos between the two of them when they already agreed, hey, we're not going to be friends. We don't like each other. You know, cool. You don't like my husband. Cool. You know, you think my husband's a B. Cool. You know, I think Tisha's frustration is with her husband, but she's directing it at Stormi, you know, and like I said, I don't understand Stormi. She's a boss, you know. I don't know really how much she's worth, you know, but for somebody to start, I guess she started in her kitchen, you know, and I seen something on Instagram where her hair was kind of short and she started developing her products and she grew her hair real long and then she cut it off just to prove a point that her products does work. Now her hair is like maybe shoulder length from that cut, you know, and her hair is healthy, it's pretty, you know. So, I mean, she stands by her product. You know what I'm saying? So she's a boss. So I don't understand where the anger is from Stormi, you know, when you've been you're naming all these places. Hey, I was in Forbes, I was doing this, I was that, this, and the other. Okay. That you have nothing to prove to them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because to me it was just like ugh, anger that you shouldn't even show. You should have been like so unbothered. I know I would have been. I would have been kind of laughing like, you know, you can't even touch this. So, you know, deuces to you and your dude. So I just didn't get it. I didn't get where the anger came. Did I miss something?
Yeah, I think that the anger came from off-screen stuff, the whole shipping policy. Because believe it or not, I think we all can realize it at this point that these people do watch YouTube. They see what the content creators are putting out.
Oh
They see
yes.
the posts. Right. So I think once people started making all those videos and they recognized that that shipping policy was copied, that made Stormy
Mhm.
look bad because people were also insinuating that, oh, they're working together. Tisha took some of Stormy's products and put her own labels on it. There was all types of um, content out there about that sort of thing. So
Right.
I guess that Stormy, got fed up, and we saw that scene where they were inside that building over it, well, that spot over at Black, that dusty room, and
Hmm.
Tisha had an attitude.
Right.
So I think that Stormy was probably just coming to her being genuine about it, like, okay, let's discuss this thing, this whole shipping policy, and the rationale made no sense because
Hmm.
as I keep saying, and I know I'm beating a dead horse, that the shipping policy is a template. And Marsau said it last night. He said, oh, it's a boiler template or something. He said, it's a
Hmm.
template. So how did you not just use the template that comes with the website? If it's a Shopify store, I assume it is. It may not be, but how did you just why would you do that? And how is it that you didn't notice that? But we see that in the past that Tisha seems to have all these issues with always making these like clerical errors. So maybe
Hmm.
she's just not really good at
Proofreading. I don't know.
Uh,
that's a good
You
one.
know, because
Something.
look, anything that's gonna have my name attached to it, if I send out an invitation for a party, I'm gonna proofread and make sure that the spelling is correct. I want them to be like, oh, let me for my girl, she just can't spell.
Yeah,
No. If
that
I
kind of
if
stuff.
I don't know what the word is, I can't find the dictionary fast enough. I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah, and she seems to keep having those errors. Maybe maybe she's just used to being a stay-at-home mom and dealing with the issues with the kids. Like he had said, she enjoys being a PTA mom. And so now she's trying to transition into being a boss, doing all of this stuff. She's got her degrees and, oh, I'm running this business. And it's maybe difficult for her to juggle. But what I did not like about the conversation that they had is, well, at least I felt Tisha just jumped on her just out of the gate. It's like,
exactly.
exactly. Like, what did
Mhm.
Stormy say to provoke you? I guess she was just like, I'm ready. I've got to jump on her and pounce on her at first. And then I don't like how they are so smug in regards to her success. And no, I don't think that she wants accolades, but the kind of responses that they constantly give her or throw her way. Make your money at TikTok, whatever. Do you know how much money she made on TikTok? I know a lot of people have.
Exactly. I was. That's why I said I at least she even recognizes that she didn't make the money itself.
Stormy made a lot of money. She
I
did.
bet.
I mean, a whole lot of money. And we had done a video months ago. There was an article that was written about her. This is alleged information, but it came from an article that back in like 2022, 2021, 2022, her business was bringing in like $440,000 every 2 weeks. That's almost $1 million a month in sales. And that was like 2022, 2021.
Wow.
So can you imagine how much money she's making now with a TikTok? That TikTok, that product went crazy. She was selling so much of it. So that's why I think part of it is allegedly, or in my opinion, is because those two know that this Courtney and Stormy are making a lot of money. And like she said, I don't know if you guys saw the dressing room scene, or were you going to show that photo, Uzo, or no? In the dressing room with
Oh
Courtney and
yes,
Stormy.
yes.
Okay, so I'll wait till
When
you
the
get to
when the
that point. Okay. Oh, okay. I was just gonna say that she said, like basically she had a name for herself before this show. Like she doesn't
Right.
need this to be on
exactly
this show. Right.
Right.
So the two
she
of them to sit there. I'm sorry, go ahead.
I literally I wanted to second what you were saying. Like she was saying the truth. I might not be such of a huge fan of Stormy, but I did watching it, I did not appreciate Tisha. I felt like Tisha just came in there, was like, you know what, I'm gonna demean your light. I'm not gonna make you shine. And she was standing on that ground of, oh, I'm an OG love of marriage Huntsville person. And I, I literally don't care whether she's an OG at all. You really don't bring anything to the table. Stormy was right. She literally came into the show with her success. Why some of you are using the show's popularity and this thing to grow yourself? It's not a bad thing.
No.
Don't quote me wrong. It's not a bad thing if you're using the publicity you're getting from the show you are in to enrich yourself, to make yourself be in the place you want to be.
Right.
That makes you a very great businesswoman or man.
Mm-hmm.
But don't try to reduce somebody's um somebody's work. She has worked hard to be where she is. And for Tisha to sit down there and make it look as if Stormi is a nobody, Stormi is doing wrong in business, calling her her debt. Where is the receipt? If it's Tisha, she will tell you where's the receipt. Where's the receipt? Don't come and tell me that Stormi is owing debt. Where is the receipt, Tisha?
And
Show
what she
me.
and what she said didn't make sense. She said, "I have all these people calling me saying you're not the only person
Exactly.
she owes." So does she owe Tisha some money? Why did Tisha say
Maybe
that?
it's
You're
the
not the
hundred
only person.
dollars. The hundred,
Oh,
hundred. Remember the Black
yes.
Expo.
Oh goodness gracious.
Well, when I heard that statement, I was like, what is we're not the only one she's owing. I was like, when did Stormy start owing LaTisha and Marsau?
And another thing that
Yeah.
businesses do have debt. They do have invoices. They get like
Right.
30 days to pay something like this. They're acting as though this is unusual for a business to be in debt, for a business to take out a loan because they need money for certain things. Like this is all a part of how it works. But for her to throw out these insults, it is like produce your cause. What have you guys created? Now, I don't have any issue with him because I know that's just kind of his character that he plays. But with her, it was just like you really are not qualified to have this conversation with this lady.
Yeah.
Exactly. And you notice the smug face that Marcel was just putting out through when he saw his wife literally just fighting Stormy. And I think Latisha thought she ate. Latisha thought she literally did something marvelous with that scene. She was like, and before we go on, did you notice the difference in interaction between these two and these two when they were talking? When they were in the dressing room talking, did you notice the difference in their interaction?
Well, I noticed that Marceau was like, "Hey, look, we're not about to do this because, like, I'm not trying to really fight." You know what I'm saying? Because he don't want none of Courtney. You know what I'm saying? So he was like, "Hey, quiet that down. This you can keep taking this. you know, you've been taking it this long. Like, uh, don't provoke anybody. You know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what he was saying. He wasn't like, yeah, let them know how you feel. Go ahead, Tiger. I got your back. Nah, they're not about that life. Seriously. I've
Yeah,
been around the
seriously.
corner. Yeah, I've been around the corner. I know bluffs when I see it. Neither one of them are about that life. That's why he was in there trying to quiet her down. Then she's like, "Well, I'm not even bothered by it." Yes, you are. you know but you you're book smart. You're not business smart. You know what I'm
Good point.
saying?
Yeah, good point. And then I noticed with the scene with Stormy and Courtney. Courtney is just sitting there, just smiling. He just seems so unbothered. But another thing I forgot to mention, the part of the scene that we saw where she was naming off the magazines that she had been in.
Mhm.
You
Yeah.
guys remember that? She had put up a post the other day, and she just said that something happened on with a male co-worker or whatever in October. And so we assumed that she was talking about the reunion. And it seems as though from that post, if she is talking about this same situation, allegedly he responded saying, something like, we know you pay for those. Like basically she's paying to be in these magazines. He said some comment like that, but I guess they didn't show it. So it's constant with him, but I know that's his personality. So I think some people just kind of let him slide, but it just makes you wonder, like, why are these two always feel the need to downplay other people's success? Like, why do
And
you
the
have to
fact
do
that
that?
they don't even show their own success in a good light. Like, please, how is theirs any better? If I was asked to choose between Stormy, the Steels and the Scots, aka Marsau and LaTisha, I would go with the Steels because I think their business, they have credibility in their business than the Scots. And the way he was like talking down on her, like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to go down here, you don't have to prove any point. This guy, I don't know, like you say, Masao is very unserious, and I think that Tisha decided that, what, a lot of people have come for me that I've really not brought out my A game during the season. How our storyline has been boring, things haven't been going well for us during the shooting. Let me bring my A game to the reunion. Let me show them what I can be at the reunion. And I don't need you for every reunion for you to come and show your power and bust out and challenge people. Then when we get to the show, I'm literally asking myself, where is Tisha? Where is LaTisha? Where is she? I don't want to be seeing you every reunion. The last reunion you went off at Melody, calling her names. Now you're calling out this Stormy. And what is still pissing me off is that I don't know how the friendship. I literally thought this friendship was a solid friendship between Stormy and LaTisha.
Mm.
And I can remember then Miss Wanda was always gloating about it, that, oh, her daughter LaTisha knows how to keep friends. That's why whenever anybody comes on the show, they always want end up being friends with her. You know. Then when Stormy and Melody were having their issues, now look at how that turned. And it turned so bad, so bad. Like, Stormy was really pissed off. You know the part she said, you know what, I gave you grace. You will know that Stormy was so pissed off at Latisha. So pissed off at her.
Yeah, she was.
I kept on wondering, what would have happened behind the scenes? Like, what would have happened that they didn't show us in the season that got them to this space that Stormy was so irritated to be in the same presence with Marsau and LaTisha. Like, it was
I would
bad.
have, yeah, I would have looked at it like, you know what, that's her clown and that's their circus. You know what I'm saying? I swear I wouldn't have been so bothered. So what? You're copying and pasting stuff from my business. Everybody sees that. eh, you don't have an original idea. That's all that shows.
Yes. And now you come out with a hair care line.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like, one year you want to be male, now you want to be me. Pick a side. Get an authentic idea. You know what I'm saying? What are you good at? Everybody has a gift. You just got to find out what it is. But then you got that husband who won't let you be great. See, because you can't be his woman, his wife, and be great because he doesn't want you to surpass him. He doesn't want you to be the number one breadwinner because, see, then he won't get to contradict how you spend money. You're spending too much money on shopping. Remember when he told her that?
Yes. And what was she buying? That's what I'd like to know.
She said she's buying food, taking care of the kids, buying their clothes.
Right.
With kids,
And didn't
they
they throw
grow.
out didn't they throw out some number every month of how much they're spending? Some crazy astronomical number. I forget what it was.
Yeah,
I,
yeah. I think it was what,
I
5, 6, $7,000 or something crazy like that.
I
You know.
remember when this girl was like, I've made millions, before you, like when she was like, and start like she was like, oh, but everybody here is a millionaire. I laughed. I
Oh
laughed.
yeah, she did say
So
that. Yeah.
so bad because I was like, you're I'm not trying to be shady, please. I'm not trying to be shady here to anybody. But the truth is you claim to be a millionaire and you are renting, or is it leasing? I don't know what they're doing with their house. For how many seasons that the show has been running
No,
and
she
you've
did
been
say their
paid.
lease. Yeah, she said their lease was up.
On their house? I thought they owned that house. They don't own that house?
No, the house that they're,
Oh, the apartment they were staying in.
yeah, or
Oh,
whatever they were saying. Remember when she came to him and she was like,
right, right.
the lease is out and I'm waiting for them to call me back. And he was like, but did you get an answer? And she was like, well, yeah.
But the thing is that you are comparing yourself to you sat down there. I think sometimes when you want to say something, you should be ashamed of yourself a little bit. There should be an atom of shame in when you say something. You sat down there and you said, oh, all of us are millionaires. Truly, yes, everybody on that seat has money. One way in a capacity, we don't know for some how much of a money they have. But when
Right,
you look across the room, look at the house that Stormi lives at, like very huge pasture, enjoying her life. Look at the house that Melody is at. Look at the Fletchers.
right,
I don't know for Maurice and Kimmi, but if you want to, I don't. I her trying to classify every other person in the beef between her and Stormi did not make sense. Say yes, I'm a millionaire. Don't bring any other person. Nobody's fighting with you. And nobody's fighting
Right,
with Stormi. Nobody's
right.
arguing with Stormi whether they are richer or not. You are the person. So don't rope every other person's finances with yours. If you feel or you think you have the same money, you have the same capability that Stormi has, say it. Don't be going to say, "Oh, everybody here is a millionaire." You're hiding under other people's shades. You're hiding under other people. I felt like it didn't make sense, and I want to say I wish that they could change Carlos as the host. Firstly, I wish that they could change Carlos as the host because I'm gonna be honest, he did a very terrible job the hosting. I don't know whether it's the editing or anything, but I felt like he did a very horrible job. He didn't ask questions. He didn't go deep. He didn't like. I don't know. I just felt something off with the questioning or the way he allowed them answer or the way he was cutting them off when they wanted to answer in depth. So I didn't just like him as a host.
Yes, and then he interrupted Stormy, didn't allow her to respond to Tisha, and then we gotta pivot to these two, that couple that nobody cares what's going on with their lives.
Oh my
They
god.
totally did not
Oh,
need a segment. I'm so sick of them and that story.
oh, I thought I was the only one that noticed that Carlos was a bad host. I thought I was the only one that noticed that Carlos was a bad host. I really thought that because the way he shut Stormy off when she wanted to respond, that was pissing me off the most. Because you can't allow Tisha say her peace of mind and not allow Stormy the same grace. Allow Stormy say her own peace of mind. We didn't need to hear Kimmy and Maurice. I didn't need to. In short, I could have done without them having any segments on this reunion. Let them just sit down there. Yes, you are the OGs of Love and Marriage Huntsville. We understand. We know. Nobody's taking that from you. But I could do
Why
without them
why do you think that they
having it.
keep I'm sorry, why do you think that they keep talking about this libido story? Why do they keep showing this to us? Why do you
I,
think that
you
the
know
editors,
what?
why do they keep showing this storyline about this libido and keep talking about it?
I was so when he said, "Oh, let's go to the couple," I was like, "No, no, 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 no. What is this?" I thought I dealt with this in the last episode. I was literally like, "Okay, yes, we're over this topic. We're done and dusted. So why am I getting to hear about this libido stuff?" And I'm gonna say this. I'm just gonna say this about them. One thing that Kimmy made me know and made me understand is that I don't think I can support her in any way, shape, or form because I'm
Wow.
one person. Yes, I'm one person that if I decide to put my support for you and I look at you and at the end of the day you throw my support to my face like I'm a big like I'm stupid. Why would I want to support you again? You know, the way she was like, did you listen to what she said? Did you listen to her excuse there? It was like, no, one thing about us is that as sex life has also been one of the big things for me. So I understood where he was coming from. Really. So now all of a sudden sex life has also been one of the big things for her in her relationships in her life.
No,
All of a
wasn't
sudden.
wasn't she just at the doctor's office when they were having the little therapy session with the doctor and his wife, and she was saying, hey, it wasn't like as important to her as it is to him. Or am I crazy? Like, didn't I hear that?
Are you talking about Dr.
Mhm.
Francis?
Yes. When they took a
She
trip,
said that she's not such. Yeah, she did say that she was not really that a sexual person like Maurice is. Then
exactly.
all of a sudden she's coming to the reunion saying that, oh, sex has been like the one thing for her in a relationship. And I was looking at her, I was like, I can't really support this lady because she turns at the back and makes you look as if the support you give to her has been like a caricature.
Yeah, because she was complaining that he wanted to do it like 3 times a day, 4 times a day, and she just wasn't up for that. So
I
now all
don't
of a
know.
I,
sudden, go ahead.
I was just saying, I don't know which segment of the viewers that they think that this is appealing to because I am so not interested in this. I'm so sick of it. I have fast forwarded their scenes the whole season. The bike ride, I don't know what that conversation was about. I don't watch them. They are horrible. I shouldn't say horrible. They are so boring. There has to be something else that they can do with this couple other than this storyline. That's it.
I don't know. When the next season comes, like, what are they gonna do?
don't know.
Well, they just bought that building, so maybe they'll have a storyline about them renovating, that
Yeah.
restaurant. So that'll be something better.
I feel that they might be that might be their storyline, but for how long? I see. One thing I'm not going to tolerate in this next season is when we have one story, one point, and we stretch it out for the rest, maybe 33 episodes. I don't think I can deal with that. So let there be a lot of storylines because I'm not going to be, oh, I got married. We'll talk about the marriage episode one, episode two, three, four, five, six. No, I can't deal with that kind of storyline. So I hope they come in with the A game because she's already saying that people have been, talking about them being allegedly they should fire them from the show. I think that interview she had, the interview, that chat she had with Marie of is it Maria or whatever of Bell Collective. So she was like saying that people have been like saying that they should fire them from the show. They don't add substance, and I think that sometimes when like a large group of people are saying something, you should listen. Listen. I think it's gonna do them real good if they listen. But I just felt like this whole scene was the most unnecessary scene in the whole reunion. Just so unnecessary to me. I could have done without it. Well, Let's go to this whole thing, Marsau versus the women. That's what I called it. Marsau versus the women of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Now, in this place, it made me understand that uh, Stormi does not really her press. She doesn't like being in the presence of Marsau at all. And there's some things he said in this sitting that I like. I don't know. I felt a certain kind of way. Now, the way the scene was played out, I was confused. Because one moment Melody is laughing and throwing a shirt on him. The next moment the mood swings to a pissed off zone. And I'm like, okay, did this happen after the throwing of your t-shirt? Because the mood swing was confusing me. One moment they were annoyed with each other, and the next moment they were smiling. I was confused. Really confused. I don't know if any other person felt that way.
Yeah, I noticed that too, especially once they were done. They clapped and said, "Yay, you did good." So then maybe they just edited that way. I was watching some interview today with Claudia Jordan, and do you watch Housewives of Atlanta like years ago when Claudia Jordan was on there? Either of you
Yes,
guys? Okay.
yes.
Do you remember when they went to the Philippines on a trip?
Uh,
Probably vaguely. But she was saying that she and Phaedra were talking and she was trying to make some connection with her, and that she asked her about her marriage and Phaedra said she didn't want to talk about it. But then she's like, well, I guess share with me a time where I don't know, something along those lines. And Phaedra was talking about, I guess when she was in college and having difficulty with some test or class or something, and started crying about that. And she said then she went back and like told the other ladies, oh, I guess I'm trying to connect with her and she's talking about her not passing a test. I may not be saying this the events in the correct order, but essentially she was saying that Phaedra was crying about one thing, but they pieced it all together to make it seem as though she was crying about her marriage, and
mhm.
that Claudia was then making fun of that point, and she said that is not how it happened. But she said they will take certain little scenes and piece them together, or maybe you said, hamburger, 3 minutes earlier, but then 30 minutes later they'll take that word and piece it together with some other stuff to make things appear, they happened a certain way when they didn't. So maybe that's what happened right there in that moment, because you're right. They were laughing about the t-shirt, and then when he said about the single, as they're called, the Rogers, and she looked really upset, and then you see, yay, Marcel, you did good. So yeah, I get it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and talk about the what Marcel said when he was asked when LaTisha was literally talking. Did you see the way he firstly cut her off? Sky doesn't have respect. The way he cut her off when she was trying to talk about how she feel or what made her decide to, go from a businesswoman to wanting to go back to be a housewife, and this guy literally cut her off. And Carlos asked, "What are what are you most afraid of when it comes to Latisha and wanting and Melody?" And he said, that statement, he said, like, I didn't just know how to feel about it. It's like, I don't want her to be like Melody, yes, because I don't want her to be a single mother. I don't want her to be divorced. And because I know she loves her kids, to lose her kids. I'm like, did Melody lose her kids? I don't understand where he's coming from, his point of view.
I don't know. I
Did
kind
Melody
of.
lose her kids? The way he said it, that I don't want her to lose her kids because the kids are very important to her. She likes waking up in the morning, making breakfast for them. And I was like, I don't understand. Did Melody complain to you that she doesn't wake up in the morning to make breakfast for her kids? Or she doesn't have access to wake up in the morning and make breakfast for her kids? Because it was confusing the way he was saying it. And was like, that I know that's very important to her. I don't want her to be like the strong women, strong independent women like the Rogers. I'm like, that was a job. I don't know whether anybody saw it like that, but I felt that that was a pure job. Just because Melody's mom is alone and Melody is alone and they're doing great for themselves, is that a bad thing in the society now? And and you could see that even when Marsau was saying that nonsense from his mouth, Tisha looked at him. I was like, what is this person saying? Because she knew that her husband was wrong in that statement, trying to make it look as if because Melody is booked and busy, she's having the time of her life. She doesn't remember her kids. Melody is one person I know that loves her kids to the to hell and back. So he making that statement was all totally wrong. I don't know what he heard. I don't know what gossip he's been hearing, but that did not make sense to me at all. Him saying that, it was really, really offensive to me for him saying that. And I love the way Melody cleared him. I was like, you know what? I have never complained to you that I don't make breakfast for my kids. I've never missed any of their homeschool stuff. I've never missed anything when it comes to their school and their life important things. I make breakfast for my kids. Just because I am traveling and I'm going to fashion shows and I'm booked and busy doesn't make me forget my kid. I don't know how Marcel thinks. I don't know what he has been hearing or who he has been hearing whatever thing from. But that was outrightly the most strongest thing that I felt like would have come out from his mouth.
I don't know. I kind of took it as when he said that, well, she's going to be not have her kids, she can lose her kids. I took it as, so what you going to do? Try and take the kids from her? What are you going to try and get more than 50% custody of the kids? You know what I'm saying? What, you going to have her
Yeah.
showing you child support? Like, what was he saying? To me, that was like a threat. If I was his woman, I would have took it as, what is this Negro saying? Is he gonna try and take the kids, the house, the car, the boat? I mean, like, you want it all, huh, Mr. Man? You know what I'm saying? Why can't we just do this 50-50? You know, but he made it sound like she's gonna lose everything, plus the respect from the kids. Because didn't he say something about the respect from the kids? Like the
I
kids
can't
are,
remember if he said that.
yeah. Pardon me, I didn't hear what you said. Okay, well, I thought I heard him say that, that she was going to lose the respect of the kids, and and to me that just sounds like a threat that a narcissist would say to keep you in line, keep you in check. Don't move beyond where we discuss, where I said you can be in this life. You know what I'm saying? You're a helpmate. Don't try and be anything bigger. You know? So I kind of took that as a threat. I took it maybe the wrong way, you know. But yeah, I like the way that Mel put him back in his place, you know. And if you guys remember, if you looked at uh LaTisha, she liked it too. She had that little crooked smile on her face, like, girl, I would have never had the courage to say that to him. Yeah, she said it for you. Then start moving like you don't want her to be free and independent and living her best life and living her life and not all around you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and then he also, when he mentioned about, oh, she enjoys being a PTA mom, and she, moved her head down like, yeah, but what is life going to be like once they are out of school and out of the house? So, but he did say that they have goals as a family that they want to realize, so that's important. But she needs to find something else, like you mentioned before, that she's good at.
Right.
It's great. She can manage the home, and I'm sure she does that very well. But And didn't we see an episode with her this season where she was torn between she wanted to go back to being a stay-at-home mom? Is it?
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't understand that because we met her as a stay-at-home mom. She wanted to get out of the house, wanted to, be a boss, and now she wants to go back to being a stay-at-home mom.
Hey, that shit is pressure.
But I
You
guess she
know?
sees all the other ladies on the show. They managed to juggle both. And I guess
Yeah.
she's the only one who's having difficulty with that. Well, I guess Tiffany had difficulty as well, but Stormy has a small child.
Yeah, that's because Stormy has a stand-up guy. You know what I'm saying? Courtney's
Mhm.
solid. You know
Mhm.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Courtney
Yeah.
backs her. You know what I'm saying? Courtney lets her be who she's gonna be. Courtney don't put her in a box. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He don't put her out in the corner. You can't put baby in the corner because she gonna come out swinging. You know what I'm saying? So she got a good stand-up dude behind her. He's solid. Where she got this jokester, you know, who he's not trying to let her be everything she was meant to be because he has a fear. And that's what most narcissists do. They have a fear of someone thinking that they're not the great one in the relationship anymore. So
Well,
she'll never grow up under his wing.
mm-hmm.
Because as soon
I
as she
I do
started to
understand.
fly, he gonna snatch one of them wings off, and she gonna be paralyzed sitting right there with him.
I do understand where Marsau is coming from. I do understand where he's coming from. But the part where he was like, we have goals as family, then if somebody's stepping out of it, I'm like, yes, we have goals as family. I know that I have goals that I set to my family members, my brothers and sisters. I
Yeah,
also still have goals that I set to my own self, my
exactly,
personal,
exactly.
personal ones,
Yeah,
out of my family ones. Doesn't make me or doesn't stop me that when it is time to execute that plan that I'm supposed to execute as a family person with my family, doesn't stop me from executing it. I would still be there, show up and do what is needed to do to make those plans a success. But it also would not stop me having my own personal growth, because at the end of the day, personal growth is still important.
right.
As much as we want to do your family togetherness and everything, your personal growth is still very, 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 very much important.
True that.
Right. And it seems as though she tries to take on projects that she just can't seem to handle, allegedly. Like we've seen so many of these different things, like, mentioning earlier with the proofreading, like just something simple like that. You're really struggling with these base type things. So then how are you now going to put on this whole production? But I do have to give them credit because they did do a lot for needy families at Christmas time. So maybe that's the best thing for her is just to do the charity work or the foundation type work, the community service. That's probably the best thing for her instead of her trying to be this boss and this mogul.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think, like you say, she's looking at every other person on the table. She's looking at, okay, Melody is this boss lady, running her little empire by herself and making it glorious. Then we also have Stormy too, running her own large empire and making it glorious. But she forgets something. These people that are bosses, that that you are looking at and being like, okay, they are somewhere. There are things that they have gone through. There are things they have sacrificed. There are times that they had to stand on their ground to achieve certain things for them to be where they are. They didn't just wake up in the morning and they are where they are. Stormy didn't wake up in the morning and she's where she is. Melody didn't wake up in the morning and she's where she is. Stormy didn't
Mhm.
wake up and take any crap or bullshit from anybody, and she's still where she is. So as much as Melody too. That's the thing she doesn't understand. You just can't be looking at people and being like, you know what, wow, this is nice, it's nice. Then when it gets to your time to work, to do the same things, behave and take up the same things those people have taken up to get to where they are, you now be like, oh no. But you still expect to get the same results as they did. How is that possible?
Right. So she's seeing the end product of these two ladies and all the hard work, blood, sweat. Exactly. Like, I don't know if you guys saw Melody mention the other day that for 3 years, it had been 3 years since she met with Carlos about this show idea. 3 years later,
Mhm.
it's like, so like with Tisha, maybe she doesn't realize, like you mentioned before, all of the hard work that both of these people had put in. Even Stormy, she was selling that product out of the trunk of her car.
Right.
So it's just like, but oh, I want to wake up today. Oh, I'm going to start a hair care line. Oh, I'm going to do this today. Just, yeah. So maybe, and maybe that's the issue with she and her husband, because he knows her a lot better than we do. So maybe that's the frustration that he has as well too. Like, okay, so now today she's a boss today. Tomorrow she wants to be a PTA mom. It just seems to be a struggle with her. Maybe at this point in her life, she's trying to settle on something that she can do right, because she does have the education, but not the
Right.
application.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Exactly. Like, look at Melody now. She pitched this show to Carlos like 3 years back, and now she's doing her own show on her own network. Again, she
Right.
worked hard. She worked hard to be where she is.
And she mentioned at the reunion last night that she's got the children, plus she goes, she travels to these places, does all these functions, but still does mommy duties. So it's just like she's doing a lot. She has a lot on her plate. So it's like, Tisha, can you handle all of these different things? Like, can
Exactly.
right,
She still has her kids. She still takes care of her kids. She's still doing what she's supposed to do as a loving mother to those kids. Ronnie has more empire of her hair products and skincare, and she was still trying to get her own network. Now she has gotten it. She's getting a show on that network, so she's moving forward. Yes, she's still in love with marriage where she's known, but it doesn't stop the fact that she is trying to branch out. She's trying to grow, because let it not be like we're stagnant in one place for how many years.
right. And
The
don't forget the
question that
Seventh Avenue.
exactly the question that Tisha should ask herself is: you've been on the show. This is the sixth season on Love and Marriage Huntsville. What can you stand on and say that I really, really, not the one that we started and didn't finish, or the ones we started and we didn't really get the end result. What can she, or let's say Sports Reality, or whatever company they opened, or whatever, I don't know the things they do open. They're so numerous. What is it that she can stand on and say, I did this in this 6 seasons of Love and Marriage Huntsville. I did accomplish this. What exactly is that thing? While other people are trying to use the fame, God willingly has given you the fame you need. He gave you that fame. What have you used it for? Well, you still want to stand. You still want to be appreciated. You still want to get the same accolade. You still want to get the same respect that people that have used the same, gone through the same journey you have gone through, overcame it, stand tall, and done something better for themselves. You still want to get that same praises. You still want to get that same respect. How is that possible? I don't think she understands that logic. that you can't get that same respect. I see it's most of them always come online and be like, "Oh, Melody is getting, she's most loved. Millimeters are doing this, doing this, doing that, doing that." Like, if you do something great for yourself, your fans will be your fans. They will follow you. They will love you, irrespective.
Well,
People want to, yeah,
yeah, I just know this. Successful person does things an unsuccessful person won't. If you want to be successful, you're going to do things that an unsuccessful person won't do. You have to have
exactly.
more initiative, more gun, more grit, more hustle. You got to be able to know how to hustle 10 different ways. And out of that, something should come your way. You know what I'm saying? And if not, get rid of them 10 hustles and get 10 more. Ideas are out there, they're flowing. You know what I'm saying? I don't get it. Either you're going to be a housewife or you're going to be a boss. There's no really in between. I mean, not unless you just get tired of working and you just be like, you know what, I just want to make some more dinners and wash some more clothes and make sure the house is clean. I want to keep doing that because that's more fulfilling, or you're going to be out there, you know, getting them dollars, you know, and you can only do that with initiative, an idea, you know, um, weighing the pros and cons, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And if she has the book knowledge, I'm pretty sure, for a lot of this, but she doesn't have any ideas. And if she gets one, like, Marsau is not going to let her, because you heard him say, well, she starts one thing and then she doesn't, and then she wants to do this, and then there's other things that she's trying to do, and like it's too many things for him, for her to be doing, because he's only giving her like this much space to do stuff. The rest of it is the kids, the house, and him. Oh, and her aspiration and dreams is nowhere in that. Because, see, she's part of the team.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to the final, stuff for today's reunion for the episode. Mm. LaTisha versus her cousin sister, KeKe. I'm just gonna allow you guys talk. What did you feel about this scene, before you go?
Well, I thought it was just pretty ugly. Like, okay, so what if she cheated on her husband cheated on her? Does everybody need to know about that? We didn't know anything about that. We didn't know them when that was going on. You know, we were talking about you and yours. Why you flipping the script, sis? You know what I'm saying? We was talking about you and your dude. Which he never admits to anything because you don't have receipts. you know. So I just thought that was just pretty ugly. Because after all, we're cousins, and we weren't even talking about me and my dude, but yet you just want to bring this up on national TV. Well, we was talking about the whole beef was about you and your dude and me trying to tell you what was said. So I just thought LaTisha was just being really messy.
Yeah, I think she was too. But I have had an issue with KeKe from beginning. Just her coming on and well, I shouldn't say claiming. Just it's like, okay, this is your cousin. I always had an issue with that, and so people I know were in the comments under some of the videos that we had done saying things like, "Oh, Tisha started with her first." It's like these are two relatives getting on TV, airing this stuff out. And another issue I have with KeKe is like you mentioned before, produce produce the receipts. And it's like even that second half of last season just, built everything up, built us all up that we were really going to get something concrete. And then she sat there at the reunion last year, she had nothing and kind of sided with them. And I don't know if you guys saw her IG live. It was on so late, well, real early this morning. And she was basically saying that at that Christmas party, I don't know if you guys remember when Mel had that Christmas party and they all had on their satin pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah, that she said she did not say that Tisha had told her that, I don't know, something. It's like, wait a minute. Yeah, you didn't say that, but the way you said it, you left the door open. It's like the way you were saying things last season just conjured up different ideas in people's heads. Then you come on this season and remember when she had that sit down with Mel, and sit down with her, and we really thought, okay, she's gonna give us something concrete. It's like,
Right.
what has she ever produced anything? Did she ever produce anything concrete?
Not really.
Not
No.
really. So it's like, do you really have anything? Or maybe because this is my family, I don't really want to air them out like that. That could be another angle. But they
Mhm.
brought you on here for a reason. I don't think they brought you on here because on her live, she was talking about, oh, speaking engagements, and she's going to start some sort of a platform. She's going to tell us what it is. She's got all these exciting things coming up, writing a book. I don't think they brought you on here for that. I can
Oh,
imagine
Jesus.
that they brought her on here because maybe in the interview, maybe she talked a good game as though this is what she was going to be able to provide, allegedly. I don't know if that's what happened, but it's
Mhm.
like, what have you produced? I, I'm waiting to see something.
Mhm.
That photo,
Exactly.
yeah, yeah, nothing, just nothing at all. Just, yeah, but Tisha pounced on her, but on her IEG live, she said, you have to wait and see what happens. So maybe, she's going to come back with something.
I really want to see what happened because the low blow she went on like, oh, you've cheated on your husband and you've cheated on him. I'm like, why is she doing this? That if the case was reversed, she would have been coming to be like, oh, people hate me and the rest.
And they're coming for my marriage. Yeah. But I guess she had to pounce on her too, because like she pounced on Stormi. That was her strategy. Like she has to get in there. She was ready. Ready. But it's sad to see, two first cousins doing this on television. It's not okay.
Right.
Yeah. And like Stormy, and like LaTisha say, bring the receipts. I hope in the part two, she's gonna bring receipts of all these alleged stuff going on between her and KeKe and whatever she's saying because I'm never going to believe anything LaTisha says until she shows me the receipts because she's the queen of show me the receipts.
Yeah, but I
So,
like I like the way KeKe shut her down. Like, and so your point being,
mm-hmm.
I liked that. That was cool. Because LaTisha didn't have anything really to say after that because she wasn't denying it. You know.
And your point is. Can't wait to hear her say that. Yeah, she like, what are you gonna say? Yeah, and your point is.
Yeah, you got nothing if I'm admitting everything.
I did like how KeKe stood up for herself. Like I did like it because I think, like I said earlier on, I think Latisha came into this reunion thinking that she's gonna eat everybody up. She's gonna come for everybody. She's gonna crush. She's gonna raise the roof up, like burn it down. But she could not because I love the way whether it's true or not about the stuff about her husband. She was like, "Yeah, I want it. What else? Okay, there's no other weapon for you to use." She knew that she had nothing.
Right, she didn't
She
have.
knew.
Yeah, after that, she had nothing. She was quiet.
Yeah, and she
And she knew
explained her
that
feud.
she had nothing. She decided to go petty and childish and like, when we're children and we're fighting, we have childish insults. That's what I just saw in the episode.
Yeah, and KeKe explained her hair. She said that she had gotten her hair braided like 2 weeks before, and she forgot, the scheduling of the reunion, and she thought, "Oh, I don't want to take these braids out." Just gotten them, so that's why she had her hairstylist just cut the braids into that style. Because I know some people are wondering, why is she on here with these unfinished braids? So that's how she explains it.
Mm.
But there
Well,
were very few people watching that live. I guess people are just kind of burned out with her at this point because remember
uh,
she'd have hundreds of
when,
people. Nobody's on there watching.
Oh, jeez.
when I saw the live, I was like, not again. Because I'm a very huge fan of hers. I love KeKe. I love KeKe.
You
Even
said
with
you
all
are
the
a
mess.
huge. You said you are a huge fan of hers.
Yes. Funny, I don't just know. I just like her. I don't know.
Okay.
With everything that's gone on, with everything that, the alleged stuff happening, I still can't find it in me to be like, you know what? I think I'm gonna stand KeKe. But the only thing I recognize is she's not trustworthy. That I can say. She's not a trustworthy person. I cannot vouch for her in that area. But when it comes to liking her, I just don't know how, but I just like her. I hope she can stay off social media because I know next week they're going to dive more into the uh, KeKe and LaTisha stuff. I just hope that she's not going to come live again.
Yeah, and it's
And
just like people just built her up all season. Kiki, 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 and then it's like people are just like they're done with Kiki. Poor thing, they just dropped her. That live had like 20 something people on there. It's like, what happened?
Gee.
Kiki had
because
hundreds at one point.
everything she's saying is things that she has repeated before. There's nothing new. I was watching the live. I literally was watching the live, and I reached like 20 minutes into the live, and so I was like, oh, there's absolutely nothing going on here. And I just switched off my phone.
Would you
Like,
do
no,
log off? Did you log off?
yes, I did.
Why? But you said you're a big fan of hers. Why'd you like?
That's what I'm saying. I am a big fan. Doesn't make me not realize that she has issues.
Yeah.
she does. She does have
Oh
issues.
God.
I do like her, but I recognize that she has issues. So that's what helps me, to calm myself. I know when I be like, okay, it's high time I just, give her a little bit break. I realize as much as I like her, I still would not vouch for her. Like I said, I still don't even want Melody to be that close to her because she's very problematic. Yeah, she's
Well,
problematic.
I think they need to bring a psychoanalyst on the show
Yeah,
because
where was Dr. Francis? We need to
yeah, well,
sit down with Dr.
yeah, I
Francis.
mean because quite a few of them have issues. I mean,
Alleged
seriously,
issues.
yeah,
Alleged,
they got
alleged,
issues for
allegedly,
real.
allegedly.
So I think Carlos needs to bring in just a little bit more help. Especially during these reunions. you know, they need a psychoanalyst, not a psychiatrist yet, because we don't want to write prescriptions for medication, but at least just to find out what goes on in their heads. Because quite a few of them have issues.
What do you think about
Yeah.
next the preview for next week? It looks really good with Betty Steele. Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness.
So she's
Oh,
taking Miss Wanda's place then, huh?
Oh my
but
God,
I
who wants
love
to
how
argue
Melody
with
read her.
somebody's mom?
I
What
love
you
how
say, Mrs.
Melody read her.
Rogers?
We're saying something before my girl.
No, I was saying, who wants to argue with somebody's mama?
I know that has to be so uncomfortable. Like, what do you
Yeah.
say?
Like, look, if I came across somebody's mama and, she's my elder, I don't want to chop her down the same way I would somebody my age. You know what I'm saying? Because I leave a sting, I leave a bite. It hurts. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't want to do nobody's mama like that. So I don't even think I could really have a really real conversation with the senior citizen. Now I'm a senior myself. I don't look like it though, but I'm a senior. But with an elderly, seasoned senior. Nah, I'm not gonna argue with you. You know, and I'm not gonna chop you down like I would if you were my age. Now your kid, maybe, yeah, especially if your kid is sitting over there talking. Well, that's my mama. Well, you take this for your mama, then. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't know how that's gonna go. I don't. But I'm really interested in seeing Marcel walk off the stage, like
Oh yeah.
throwing a
So,
fit.
like he went,
Marcel.
he looked like a child.
Yes, he
He
did.
sure did. His posture, you're right.
Yeah, I was
Oh
like,
my
is that how his
god,
son acts? Is that how his
that was
kids act?
embarrassing.
Like, what the heck? And then the suit looked too tight, and then you was marching off in the tight suit. I was dying. I was like, what? He should have just like kept his
Kept going.
cool. Yeah, you walk off, and he's getting so tiny. No, he
He was like,
is.
oh,
He's losing weight. You guys didn't notice that?
No, I didn't notice.
Yeah, is he sick? Because he looked small. Like, normally he looked like he's bulked up. He been eating good because wasn't it Maurice asked him, well, you ain't got no women to cook you no meals when he was in there with his shirt off at lunchtime. And he's like, oh, you about to go? And he's like, nah, I was just eating lunch. I don't want to get none of my clothes.
Hmm.
Y'all didn't see how small he was?
No, he looked the same to me. But I guess
Nah,
I don't pay attention
they
to
say
him too much.
television adds 10 pounds to you. Shit, it looked like he done lost about 17, 18.
Not
you
17.
know and a lot of weight that
oh
you
my
lose
god.
when you work, no, when you first work, when you working out, and you got a really decent body, the first thing that goes when you're not eating right is muscle mass. He still got the definition because muscle has memory. You see what I'm saying? He probably did a few little push-ups and was like, all right, I'm good. But nah, dude, you look like you done lost some weight. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe
You
he's
look,
been fasting.
oh, fast in hell. He need to eat because he look like skinny. His head is getting smaller. Like, he didn't look right.
Hmm. I the preview like was making me laugh when I saw Martel Storm. I was like, wow, 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 what a child, what a complete child.
Yeah, he
I I,
can't
ca- I
get his
can't wait to
way.
see this story because we didn't get the context of what made him storm out. I
Yeah,
really want. I know it to be very. It's I don't know. I can bet that it's something that didn't warrant the storming out
yeah, I'm pretty sure
that made
something
him
to
do
do with
that.
Mel. Something to do with Mel that he's not gonna get his way about. So he's gonna walk off and pout.
Did you guys also Yes, when they were playing the what was going to happen on the reunion, when this thing they said about Sheree and Martel, allegedly,
Yeah, I did hear that comment. I was like, "Ooh,
that was bad. But
that was bad." Unless she's referring to him being seen on the show as a business relationship, just appearing on the show.
oh
I
yeah,
don't know. I don't know. Perhaps it's the other way, but yeah, that was maybe I don't know if
yeah.
that's why he stormed out or if it was something else.
And the way she said it's even in the court document because he was asked in court, and he said it was a business transaction. So
Well, you
Wow.
guys said that though earlier.
Oh no, I thought it was a real relationship. I didn't. I think it
I
was
I
only.
no I did think that it was fake, but not to the extent of business stuff. I thought they
Well,
were
I'm
just
pretty
trying to
sure
clean up each
it
other's
probably
image.
yeah, it probably started off as a business arrangement, but sooner or later it crossed the line somewhere and they was like actually hooking up, you know?
Probably. But it's the
Look,
fact
come
that
on.
he has
We know
denied
how he is. We know how he
he has
is.
denied Sheree twice. And the last episode, the episode where he bought the flowers, and the episode that they're going to talk about this Sheree and his relationship.
Mm.
And I'm like, why don't you just own up to it? Why lie about it? We all saw this relationship. We all watched the relationship. It was a very, very public relationship. Why doesn't he just open up? A lot of people do that in Hollywood, in the entertainment industry, They should have just been open with it. Like, I can remember Big D energy when it was going on in Atlanta, areas of Atlanta and all whatnot. I'm just, looking back at the both of them now, I tend to laugh at the both of them.
Right, and then from what he just revealed in the reunion about himself,
Mm-hmm.
look what Janice Jacobs wrote in the comments. See what she wrote? Do you think that had anything to do with what he just revealed about himself
Did he say anything today?
at the reunion? What he said about himself.
Martel? Maybe I didn't get that part.
Yeah, I guess you missed it.
Maybe I didn't
I
get
guess
that
I
part.
missed it too. What did he say? Now I'm curious.
I went to Catholic school. I'm not going to repeat that.
Oh, okay. Oh, wait a minute. You talking about the hook and the curve? I know when he said that, I was like, ugh. Like that's nothing. That sounds
Oh, that's what you're talking
appealing.
about?
Is that what you were talking about?
Is that what you're talking about, show?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, that
Oh,
wasn't appealing at all. That was like, mm, you know, it just made me think of uncircumcised.
Oh my
oh,
goodness.
oh
Okay.
my
Well, I'm just saying. That's the first thing I thought about. It was like, oh
goodness.
God, that shit.
Oh my god.
It's
Oh my
it's
god.
basically like one of those Scott things you don't want to hear from nobody. You
Oh,
know,
Yeah.
wow.
T
Oh my
what they
god.
say, too much information.
Exactly. That was too much information in the episode. I
Yeah.
didn't I did not need to hear like the things he was saying. Like I was like, unnecessary. I didn't pay. I wasn't expecting this. I don't want this. I'm not interested. Cut it off. And the way Carlos allowed him say what he wanted to say about it, I was like, no. No wonder I didn't want to repeat it because I myself cannot. I cannot. The problem that's why it escaped my memory because it's not something I want to keep up here. It's not something I want to think about at all. At all. I think I even removed it from the episode. Like it's vanished from my memory that ever happened in that episode at all.
Yeah, I remembered when you had mentioned about the energy part. Once you said that, that
Oh, okay. Uh, oh my god. Martel is such a like I don't know. I don't know where he was made from. He's just different.
Shit.
He's different. And I can't wait for next week's episode to literally really see that talk. I think Carlos is doing a very bad job. I don't know why it's a three-part reunion. I don't understand why it's a three-part one. Because we had like two scenes, then ad breaks. It was annoying. Just I'm just looking at the next thing and we're going on ads. I'm like, why are they stretching it out? You could have just made it a two-part reunion. We don't need it to
Exactly.
be three.
Exactly. I didn't think it was that many things to really talk about. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of the episodes we've been kind of seeing the same old, same old, same old, same old, stretch it out, same old, same old. And you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So like, are they reserving that time for the Fletchers to talk about what's been going on with them, or like,
oh, good point. Maybe talk about their family. Oh, okay.
yeah,
Yeah. We don't need much of Tiffany and Whitlow, whatever we forget his name. We don't need too much of them.
Lou?
Thank you. Forgot about his name.
Yeah, I mean,
Exactly. What are they going to talk about? The carrying stuff. I'm over it.
Yeah, we're over her. She's been gone. Like, why are we why are they even why were they even invited to the reunion?
true that. I mean, like, I don't know. I don't know.
Well, okay. Well, it was great talking to you guys. I'm excited about the reunion. I was pleasantly surprised. I enjoyed it. Looking forward to next week with Betty Steele. Can't wait to see that interaction because I'd like to see how Melody handles that. This is somebody's mother. You got
Right.
Stormi over here upset. Mother jumps in like, oh, how is she going to handle this? Both of
Yeah.
these people.
Yeah.
And, still be respectful towards the mother. So I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what goes on with Martel, and his reason for storming out like that, you know. And I just wonder, did that
Exactly.
hook and curve follow him?
Living for my girls.
Yes. I just want to know, did it follow him out the room?
Okay, guys. Well, on that note,
Oh my god. Oh, okay. All right. Thank you guys for joining us today. I'm sorry that I was kind of dazed up. I didn't drop the link. I know some people might have wanted to join. I literally was doing so many things that I didn't know I didn't drop the link. Well, hopefully next week we're gonna drop the link for anybody that wants to join us and have a chat with us. Don't forget to like on this video. Don't forget to on opinions on the comment section. And don't also forget to click on the social button down below to subscribe to ShopRite and TV's YouTube channel and also on Filtered Resources channel. See you guys same time next week. No, we'll see you guys tomorrow, right? For the
Right.
Real Housewives
oh,
of
forgot about that. They're
Potomac.
back.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. Have a nice day.
All
Bye.
right.
Bye.
Bye.